Hello, and I want to welcome you to today's training. We're going to be talking about growing your list, method number 5, blogging. Blogging strategies and SEO methods to ensure the blog gets more traffic to maximize profitable list building. Now, we're not going to be going very heavy into the SEO methods because I believe this is something that holds a lot of people back. And SEO is forever changing. And so about the time you get something down, other things come along and say you should do it this way. So I think people get so confused that they just don't do anything as far as SEO. I want you to understand that through this training, the biggest thing that you can do is to continue to add good, valuable content on a consistent basis. And that is going to help your SEO more than anything. But we will touch a little bit on SEO, but mostly we're going to be ensuring how you can get traffic to maximize your profit for your list building with your blogging. So let's get started. All right, the money is in the list, and I want you to always remember that. Many blogs are not in the process of getting people to subscribe to their list. They are busy trying to sell at every turn. So basically when people show up to your blog, it looks like, this massive sales force attacking them at every angle and stuff, and that's not what you're going to be wanting when you're list building with your blogs. What you should focus on is to get your visitors to subscribe before even thinking about making some money with them. It's called the money is, and I got to capitalize, in the list. So once you have that list, that's where you're going to be doing the monetization. Yes, it's possible to monetize blogs, and as you get going, you may want to create blogs that are specifically for monetizing. And also in your blogs for that you're using for list building, you're going to want to have some posts in there that are going to monetize as well. But it all is basically going to be done with the same way, and that's providing good, relevant content and leading that person to the call to action that you're wanting them to do, whether it be list building to basically put in their name and email in the subscriber box, or to click on a link to take them to a sales page and buy now. Sustainable long-term list building. Creating blogs can be a great option for list building for those who have more time and creativity. If you're looking for instant results, I'm going to tell you right now that blogging is not going to be for you. Like article marketing, this technique can take time before you really start seeing good measurable results. So don't be discouraged when this method doesn't show immediate returns. A lot of people get discouraged with this because they don't see those good measurable results that they're looking for right away. So they just say, well, that's nothing I want to do. Well, then they're basically throwing away something that could be really good for long-term list building. A great way to create sustainable long-term list building and build your credibility and your reputation, which credibility and reputation is something that is very, very important, and blogging will really help you do that. Do your very best to deliver great content first and foremost that helps solve your visitors' problem. By doing so, you will build great traffic, which gives you the opportunity to list build. And you're going to see this all the way throughout this whole presentation, basically, is talking about delivering great content first and foremost, because that is going to be the most beneficial thing to your list building and generating traffic to your blog. When you're starting out blogging, we need to get a plan and we need to stick to it. Plans for list building with your blog require you to plan well and stick to your plan. So you're going to basically have to decide right from the very beginning your complete plan that you're going to be creating with your blog as far as list building goes. How are you going to get content? Are you going to write it yourself? Are you going to use PLR content? Have somebody else? Are you going to outsource the content? How are you going to, what are you going to be giving away as your for your free gift? Who is your target audience, that you're going to be looking for? So get your plan and then stick to that plan. The hardest work is at the start. The first subscriber is always the hardest and more costly to get. And that's with any method of list building. It's always getting started and getting that first subscriber on board. List building through blogging gets easier once you have built momentum. Once you start building that momentum, it just starts taking off, and you're going to have a good long-term list building platform going on. Be consistent, and you're also going to see those words all the way throughout this. Continue to be consistent When you get that plan going and you start working at it, even your traffic methods that you're using to get traffic to your blog, you start using the ones that you feel most comfortable with, and then continue to be consistent with it. Secrets to successful blogging. Give them what they want. The most successful blogs focus on their target audience, and that's who you want to focus on. Be real. Knowing yourself and your audience are extremely important aspects of successful blogging. Identify who you are as a blogger. That's something that's important to know, is who you really are. What's your interest and passion, because that's going to help you to basically continue on. But you also want to identify who you are as a blogger to your target audience. What you'll be blogging about and who your audience will be, these are key to successful blogs. Be passionate. Passion breeds passion. If you aren't enjoying what you're blogging about, it's difficult to be consistent. So blog about things you truly enjoy. Find a voice that you enjoy writing in and stick with it. Now, something about passion that you need to think about. If you're passionate about something, when you get that traffic, that target audience gets to your blog and starts reading your posts, they're going to feel that passion. If you have no enjoyment about what you're writing, they're going to be able to tell that as well. So make sure that you find something that you're writing about that you're passionate in. Create meaningful titles. Titles are absolutely essential to blogging successful, and we're talking about blog post titles. Every blog post title should give readers a reason to want to read the entire post. Write consistently. There it is again. Being consistent isn't just good for the blog, it's an absolute requirement for success. And updating your blog often with fresh content serves two major purposes. First of all, search engines love fresh content and will revisit your site more often the more it's updated. And readers love new and fresh content. They're going to continue to come back. And that's one of the things that we're focusing on list building with our blogs, is because when we get somebody to our blog, we don't want to lose them, so we want to give them an option to get on our list so that we can be in control. But continually, offering good content and refreshing your content is going to get that person to come back more than once. So in case you don't get them the first time, you have another opportunity to get them. But going back to the meaningful titles, your titles are probably going to be one of the most important things about your blog, and you want that title to say what that post is going to be about, so that when they read that, it's going to capture their attention. It's kind of like the headline of your sales page. It captures their attention and makes them want to read. Keep your site clean and simple. It's not time for flashy banners and buy now buttons. It's all about building a relationship with people through your content and your brand. It's going back to the beginning of this presentation, where it said, basically a lot of blogs that are out there, you show up to them and it's like this gigantic sales force attacking you. It's like you got banners flashing all over the place, links saying buy now. It's just one of those things that really turns people off. When people know, they're used to links in posts, they're used to people selling things on your blogs and stuff, but don't just go out all out where every turn, everywhere you look on that blog, it's just something that's trying to get them to buy. Your job is to provide good, consistent content that is going to be useful. Be careful not to give your readers too many choices of action to take. Focus on your main goal, getting your reader to subscribe to your list. So if you're using your blog to list build, that's what you want to have that focus on, is getting your reader to subscribe to your list, not 100 other different things that they could possibly do on the blog. Because if you leave them with too many choices, the action they're usually going to take is just clicking away and going to find something a little easier. Provide good, relevant, niche-specific, problem-solving content. Remember that the purpose of content is to provide value to others. So ask yourself, do you provide genuine value? And is it the best you're capable of providing? Go through and read your blogs, and you're going to know whether or not that's good content or not. You're going to know whether or not the content that you're writing is something that you're knowledgeable in and that is really providing value to the reader. Your writing style. The style in which you write your blog post can greatly affect the readership of your blog. You want to write as if you really personally know each person who is reading your blog. And to be able to do this, again, we've been talking about this throughout a lot of the trainings and stuff, is research. Research is very important to find out who that person is. How can you talk to them like you know who they are if you have not a clue who your target audience is? So get to know them, their wants, their needs, their desires, the questions that they're asking. So you're going to be able to write as if you personally know each person that shows up. My suggestion is to always be working toward building a relationship with your readers so they feel that they know you. By taking this time for them to get to know you, and by you getting to know your readers, you will develop a loyal readers base for your blog. This is going to get a lot of other people that are, when they find something good, they start pointing fingers back at you saying, hey, look at that guy over there, what he's doing. You need to go check it out. Be careful. Think credible expert versus friendship. You're not here making friends. You're going to make friends along the way, but you need to come across as the credible expert. And that's what you really want your focus to be. And that's going to be done through providing good, relevant content. Show that you care and are interested in your readers. This will develop loyalty and even help your blog go viral as your loyal readers point others toward your blog, like I just was mentioning. Look at your blog posts from the perspective of your reader. Make sure that you read them. You know when you go to a blog whether or not the content there is something that you enjoyed reading, and if it was useful and helpful to you. Look at that as, through the perspective of your reader. So you go back through and read your blog and you look at it through the perspective of that potential reader. Never believe that your website visitor cares about you or your product. We're talking about their needs and not focusing on your needs. Don't focus on your need to get somebody a subscriber on your list or to sell them something. You focus on their needs first. What visitors care about when they show up to your site is, does the content solve their problem, or does it lead them to a solution? Your visitor takes one look at your website and turns around and leaves. Why? Because you designed your website for your needs, not their needs. Now here's something even worse to think about. After they leave, they're going to one of your competitors' site and buy something from them or to get onto their list. So I want you to think about what I just said there, especially when you're starting to think about how you're going to structure your blog. Don't do it for your needs. Think about those that are coming to your blog, your visitors. Because if you don't, they're going to see that and they're going to go to your competitors. A couple things to write down in place where you can see them as you're building your website or your blog is, the only reason my website exists is to solve my customers' problems. That's going to help you focus on their needs instead of yours. And what problem does the page and content I'm creating solve? If you're writing a blog post and you cannot see that it's going to solve any kind of a product, scrap it and start again, because until you can read that and see what the problem is that you're solving. Make it clear to your visitors what your blog site is about. Do not mislead them. We got to stop all the clever little tricks. A lot of people are into all the little clever tricks just to get people to their blog, and that is not what's going to do you good in the long run. Make it clear to your visitors what your blog is all about. Even when they're in the search engine typing in their keywords, they should be able to tell what your blog is about, and when they get there, that's what it better be about. Don't be misleading. If you want better results, stop all the clever little tricks. You want your visitors to find exactly what they came searching for, and that's the solution to their problem. Don't use little disposable content just to increase page views and ad impressions. Don't just sit there and write a bunch of fluff. Write good, relevant content, something that's useful, that's really going to benefit your reader, because that's what's going to get them to return back, time and time again, to start recommending your blog to their friends and to others in your market. That's what it's going to be about. It's like going to that sales page with all the fluff and stuff. Are they going to take the action that you want? No, they're not going to. You want to provide good, relevant content. I find that content-rich articles that really give some meat to the visitors are better at generating links and referrals and building traffic back to your blog. Squeeze page links in your blog post. This is basically when we're writing a post and we're going through there giving them good relevant content, and then we basically are going to be talking about something that's going to be able to help them more. And to get that, basically they're going to click on a link that is going to take them to a squeeze page to sign up for that, for something else that's going to help them. You know, you might have several different squeeze pages set up on, you know, that you can have links to for each one of these, that maybe sends them to a different product or whatever that you're giving away just to help them. You know, it's going to depend on, you know, you could write all your posts, I suppose, if you wanted to, that focused around one product that you're giving away. But my suggestion is that you would have several different products, because especially if you're like in a niche making money online or something like that, a bigger niche, there's several different areas that you could be discussing. But if you're focusing just on list building or something like that, you know, then have that product be relevant toward what you're writing about, and add a link in there that says basically click on this link here and grab your free video course to help you further with this problem. One of the most effective blog list building methods to add strategically placed and relevant links to your squeeze page. One of the most effective links to your squeeze page can be found within the text of your blog post. And with the increased use of blogs, you'll find that blog readers are used to seeing links in the blog post. They're not even going to blink at it. They're in all the blog posts out there. They're used to it. But you want to position them so that it's relevant at that time when you put it in there. Not just throwing a bunch of links in there, but wherever it makes sense to have that link. As long as the link has relevance for being there, leads to a relevant benefit for the reader, and offers a solution to their problem or need, you will find yourself with a higher click-through. A click-through will often lead to a good qualified subscriber. You know, once they are sold on the idea that that's what they need, they click on that link, and usually when it takes them to a squeeze page, they're ready to put in their name and email. But again, you got your squeeze page that's going to even give them more benefits and, you know, and help to get that subscriber information. Very important, pre-sell the click-through on your link through your content. So basically your content, you're basically going to be selling that link to your squeeze page. You know, that pre-selling it all the way, giving them good relevant content that says, you know, here's more of your solution here. You know, and just by clicking on this link. So it's no different than actually trying to basically pre-sell them on a link that's going to take them to buy something, because they're giving you value. You're basically, you know, selling them on the idea that they need to give you that name and email. Adding a link in the post. When you're writing it, in that post, you're going to have a clickable link for them to go to. All right, here's the blog post link process. Basically, what we're going to do is you're going to have your site all set up. Your blog is ready to go. You're going to have some good posts on there, some good relevant content. You're going to add high value niche related content. The visitor shows up to Google search bar searching for a solution to their problem. They're going to find you by running right into your amazing content through high rankings in the search engine. You know, you're going to have good content that has good keywords that, you know, for that their visitors are searching for. The visitor reads content, realize they found a solution to their problem. They find and click on your links to your squeeze page that are specifically positioned throughout your content. They put in their name and email and opt into your list, and your follow-up begins. So basically, once they get on your list, this is where your follow-up email series begins, and it begins to build that relationship with them even more, and pre-selling them more on your special offers that you have for them. You know, you can you know, once they get onto your list or sign up, you can send them a special offer right away to start monetizing. You can have when they go to download that free gift, you can have special unadvertised bonuses on that page, you know, all sorts of things, but that's where you really want to focus on your monetization. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about WordPress SEO, and like I said, we're not going to get into this a lot because I think there's so much there, and it's always changing all the time. Google's always changing the way that they look at SEO, and I think it confuses people to the point where they decide they just don't want to do blogging at all because they think that they have to do all this SEO. The greatest thing that you can do as far as WordPress SEO is to create good, relevant content and be consistent at writing it. But there's going to be a few plugins that we're basically going to be searching for and talking about here for a second. But download the following basic SEO plugins for WordPress and install them. The first one is going to be All-in-One SEO. It automatically optimizes your WordPress blog for search engines, for search engine optimization. The next one, Google Sitemap Generator plugin. The sitemaps are basically an easy way to inform search engines about pages on your blog that are available for spiders to crawl. You know, using the sitemap protocol does not guarantee that the web pages are going to be included in search engines, but it provides hints for your web crawlers to do a better job of crawling your site. And the last one we're going to really focus on is Sociable. It automatically adds links to your favorite social bookmarking sites on your posts, pages, and in your RSS feeds. You can choose from like 99 different social bookmarking sites. All right, we're going to be talking about some plugins now for SEO. And the first one we're going to be talking about is the All-in-One SEO Pack plugin. And in a few seconds, we're going to take you to our blog, and we're going to actually show you how to install this. But first of all, basically, once it's all set up, this is what it's going to look like on your page. So basically, after you write your post, at the bottom, if you scroll down, you're going to see this area where you're going to put in the following information. You're going to be able to put the title in for your blog post, a good description of what that blog post is all about, and the keywords that you're targeting, good relevant keywords that people are going to be searching for to find content about what's being provided in that blog. So we're going to head over to the blog now, and we're going to actually search for the plugin and install it and kind of show you how to get it all set up. All right, here we are at the blog that I've got set up for you. We're going to be installing the All-in-One SEO plugin. It's very, very simple to do. We'll just kind of run through it quickly. Basically, what you're going to do is once you get logged into the dashboard, the back end of your blog, you're going to go down here where it says plugins. You're going to click on Add New Plugin. This is going to open up this window for you to search for the plugin. You're going to want to look for All-in-One SEO Pack. Make sure it's All-in-One SEO Pack. Search plugins, and it should be the first result right here at the top. What you're going to do, really simple, install now. Are you sure you want to install? Okay. Now you're going to want to activate the plugin. Just click activate, and it's going to be ready to go. Now this one's all activated, but usually when you first install this, I had this installed on this blog once and I deleted it just to show you an example. It'll usually have being red up here and it'll tell you have to activate, and it'll show you a link to where you need to go to. But to do that, we're going to show you basically what you have to do. We're going to click on Option, Configure. So basically what you're going to do, don't worry about the donating unless that's something you want to do. You're going to have to, it'll be on disabled when you first get here. You need to click enabled. You need to fill in your home title for your blog here. You're going to want to have your home description, what your blog's about, be very descriptive of what it's about. And you're going to want to have the keywords, the main keywords that somebody would be searching for your blog. And you're going to want to fill in all three of those areas right there. The rest of it's pretty much going to stay the same for right now. And what you're going to do is just basically update options, and you are ready to go. And the same way when you do Google Sitemap Generator and the Sociable, it's going to be just add new, go search for them, and it'll walk you right through the steps, easy to set up. Now, with the SEO plugin and stuff, I'm going to show you something here. Add new post. What you basically need to do is you're going to just create a post. Enter your keyword-rich title here. You're going to write your blog post, and then down below you're going to see where you need the information for your all-in-one SEO pack. Kind of like that slide that I was showing you earlier. You need to just put in your title, good keyword-rich title, a good description of what the post is about. You know, you want to make it interesting so that they really know what they're getting and make them want to click through to go read the post. You're going to want to type in the keywords that you're concentrating on for your article as well. Right here, and once you're done, you're basically going to go over here and you're going to publish. Now, I was showing you earlier about how to add a link to your blog posts. I'll kind of quickly show you that. All right, let's say you just wrote this blog post, a really nice blog post, and now you want to get them to click on a link to basically take them to your squeeze page. To get your free gift, click here. Now this is something just barely, really basic, but as you notice when I highlighted that, I just left click, drug my mouse across it. When I did, it opened up these two little chains, highlighted. You're going to want to click on this chain here, and you're going to basically want to just type in the URL to your squeeze page. So all right, so your domain here .com, you're going to just basically add link. Now if you wanted to, you could have put click here and that would have entered in that click here, but we've already added it in, so we're not worried about it. Basically click add link, and as you notice, it made it a clickable link. Now this isn't going to go anywhere because it's not to a valid domain, but so basically that's all there is to it. You could have just added in here, yourdomain.com or whatever, so that it became a link. Just tell them where to go. But this is probably the best way to do it using the anchor text, and it's really simple to do. All right, we're going to head back over to the to our PowerPoint, and we're going to get back here with going on track with the rest of the training. All right, let's keep moving on. We're going to be talking about blog post titles. We kind of briefly mentioned them just a few minutes ago, but we're going to talk about them a little bit more. Basically, with your blog post titles, this is probably one of the most important parts of your blog post. This is what's telling the people when they're searching what they're going to find. This is going to grab their attention. What you're going to need to do is use the main keywords that relate to your post in your titles. So the titles of your blog posts are going to have your main keywords that relate to your post that you're focusing on. To choose the best title, you must know which keywords your target audience would likely use to find whatever it is you offer in your site's content. So basically, you're going to have to do that research to find out what exactly they're using for, what keywords they're going to be looking for. Beneficial keywords are closer to the beginning of the title. So here's a couple examples. Let's say you were using list building as your keywords. The first one, we say 10 tips to maximize your list building. It's got the keyword in it, but it's not right at the beginning. We want it a little bit closer. So we could do something like list building and then 10 tips to maximize. And then we're actually using a little bit, some other keywords in there called subscriber sign up. So list building, 10 tips to maximize subscriber sign up. It's going to be a little bit better title than the first one. The first one is certainly a good title to use. But the second one is going to be a whole lot better for your search engine optimization. You can use the Google AdWords, the keyword tool. There's the address for it, adwords.google.com/select/keyword tool external, and you can go there to do your keyword research to find out which keywords that you need to be using for your blog titles. Content structure. We're going to start talking a little bit about the content in your posts now. Your articles on your site should contain your main keywords near the beginning of them. So in that first couple sentences, you want to have some of your main keywords in there. Articles should be broken apart with header tags in between. So if you've got a longer article, you want to make it nice and easy to read. It's just like a header in your sales page and stuff where you're reading going down, and all of a sudden you see something that's a little bit bold, that's kind of centered on the page, where it kind of tells you that you're going to start looking at something different. Kind of helps the eye to gradually go down the page and follow where they're going along. You should try to include your main keywords once or twice in the first paragraph and place it anywhere that it makes sense in the next paragraphs. You're not going to want to be stuffing keywords all over the place. You just want to put them keywords in there, or synonyms that relate to those keywords, anywhere that it makes sense so that it reads nice. Try to include your main keywords in the last paragraph as in the article as well. Perfect keyword density is a myth. You're going to hear all sorts of different myths out there on what you should have as keyword density, from 2 to 3. I usually recommend 1 to 2% of the words should be good keywords, or synonyms that are focused on those keywords. But don't get caught up on keyword density. because if you start getting all caught up on keyword density and stuff, what's going to happen is you're just going to get frustrated. You're not going to know what you're doing, and you're just going to say forget it all anyways. You're just going when things start getting confusing, we have a tendency to quit. So don't get caught up on keyword density. Write for humans and not for search engines, and the search engines will appreciate your content. So basically write it so it reads nice, not where it looks like it's stuffed with a bunch of keywords for the search engines to pick up on. Write unique and relevant articles for your blog posts, and you're going to be just fine. All right, I want to talk quickly about a permalink in the back end of your blog. Again, when you go back there, if you go to your settings in your dashboard and you go down to the place where you'll see where it says permalinks. This will be toward the bottom of your dashboard. If you click on that, it's going to open up this page right here inside your blog. And if you see this here where you get this slash percent post name percent slash, if you were to enter that, it's going to be on default. But if you go down here and click custom structure, add that exactly like it says right here into that spot right there, and then click save changes. What this is going to do, if you've ever clicked on somebody's blog post and you notice maybe the name of their blog and then it's got a bunch of numbers and question marks and everything after it and stuff, what this is going to do is change it so it would be basically their domain of their blog, and then it'll put the actual post title in there. So and that helps a little bit for search engine and for the keywords. So that's something that you could do. It's not necessary. It's not going to have that great of an effect on it, but it's something that a lot of people are doing to help get the keywords more out there so when somebody clicks on it, they actually can see what they're looking at instead of just a blog name and then a bunch of numbers and question marks. Adding subscriber box. This is something that's very important if you're going to want to do list building with your blog. We just talked about adding a link into our blog post. If that's all that you can do, that's what you want to do. But a lot of blogs you're going to see are, when you go to them, you'll see usually over in the right hand corner at the top, you're going to see some kind of a box that looks like this, asking, giving them away a free gift and asking for your name and email. We're going to show you quickly, by some diagrams, how you can do that. All right, back in your WordPress again, when you log into your dashboard, where you want to go over here down to appearances and click on widgets. So what you're going to do is, step 1, log into the admin of your blog. Step 2, click on widgets in the appearance section of the dashboard. That's going to take you back here to the widgets. Over in here are going to be all the widgets that you're going to have on your sidebar. They're going to show up on your sidebar. My preference is to put it up toward the top, first thing on the sidebar and stuff. You're not going to want to put it down here because it's going to be below the fold and where you got to scroll. You want it right up here where it's in a good prominent place. What you're going to do is you're going to basically left click on this text, on a text box here, and you're going to drag it and put it up there into the spot. And that's all there is to it. You're just going to click on it and drag. If you want to put one up here for a picture or something like that, or even a video that you wanted to enter into there, you could do that, and then put another text box below that where you're going to put your AWeber code or your get response code, whichever autoresponder you're using. The next, what you're going to do is you're going to open up that text box. So what you're going to do is click on open it. The first one, you're going to put basically the title. Here you might want to put enter name and email for your free gift. And then the next step is you're going to grab your autoresponder web form code. You're going to have to log into your autoresponder, get your web form code, and you're going to grab that. You're going to basically copy it, and you're going to come over here and you're going to paste the entire code inside of this text box. And then what you're going to do is you're going to save it, and then you're going to click close, and that's all there is to it. The next step is going to preview your blog, and that's what it should look like. Depending on what your blog theme you're looking at and stuff, whether it's going to have the blue and everything else, or depending on what subscriber box you looked like that you grabbed the form from your AWeber. But that's basically all there is to it. You just go back and preview it. Now AWeber, if you're using it, if you're using Aweber, they have an Aweber WordPress plugin that you can download and that you can install on your blog. It's got really good instructions, and we're going to also provide you with a video tutorial on how to use your Aweber WordPress plugin and get that set up. It adds a nice clean subscriber box to your WordPress blog. Another way you can do that is with a little plugin that it's called Digi List Builder. You can just go to digilistbuilder.com. It's a really cool little plugin that you can install. Basically, it'll set up an exit pop, so when somebody leaves, goes to leave your blog, that exit pop will show up. It'll show you a subscriber box on each one of the posts if you want. You can add it so it's subscriber box on a static page, a light box, which is kind of shown here. So basically, when somebody's reading your post, you can set it up for however many seconds you want it, for them to be reading. When all of a sudden, the post will kind of go a little gray, and you'll see the subscriber box and tell them what it's for. It'll also do in the comment form checkbox. It'll put a checkbox in the comment form so that they can subscribe to your list. It's a really neat little tool that you can use. It does cost money. I don't remember exactly what it's cost. It's not too bad, but it's a nice little tool that you want to use if you want to create something like an good exit pop. So when somebody goes to leave your blog, you've got a way to capture their name and email. Basically, Digi List Builder, once you get it installed, you're going to go down here and click on Digi List Builder. You'll see it down after the settings. And what you're going to do is, here's where you're going to put your Aweber form. So all that code that we did, you'd put that in there. You're going to choose your name in the email, and it'll have the different fields that you can show. And here's your pitch. So basically, learn how to potentially earn, whatever you're going to be talking about your product. So a good description of what they're going to get. And then you're going to go down here and choose the options of which ones that you want to choose. Here's the footer. This one's the end of a post, end of a page, the light box, and we've got this one set at 60 seconds and show it every 3 page review. So you can set it at different settings here. A comment form. Basically, once you get it all filled in, you just click Save Changes, and you're all set up, ready to go. All right, guest blogging for traffic. We're going to talk about a few different things that you can do to get traffic and backlinks and stuff to your blog. One good way is for guest blogging for traffic. Trade post blog content with another blogger. This is called guest blogging. First of all, what you need to do is you need to build good, solid relationships with fellow bloggers and submit a guest post for their blogs. So what you're going to need to start out doing is finding other bloggers in your related field, in your niche, that you can build a good, solid relationship with, that you can get them to put one of your posts on their blog that is going to send traffic back to yours. Remember, it's all about your credibility and reputation. Giving your best gives you the required traffic and, of course, a backlink. So don't just give them a bunch of fluff. Give them a good, solid content report, just like you were writing for your own blog. You want to build good, solid relationships and have that credibility and a good reputation. Why would anybody want to go to your blog if you just give them, do a guest post that's just a bunch of fluff? The better your blog, the better guest opportunities you will have, because other people are going to see your blog and the content, and not only are they going to want to borrow your content for their blog, but they're going to start asking you to do guest appearances on their blog. Facebook traffic. Facebook is huge, and there's several different ways. We're just going to do a couple of them right here today, but there's several different ways that you can get Facebook traffic. You can place backlinks to your blog on your profile page. So basically, when you're setting up your profile page, make sure that you're placing a link to your blog. Leaving relevant contents on other posts. Don't just create your Facebook profile page or group and then disappear. In order to be effective, you need to actively update your status, share great content, join in conversations, and engage with other people. By building relationships with your Facebook friends, you can indirectly grow your blog's audience. And if you're going to post a comment basically on Facebook and says, that tell everybody that you just updated your blog or whatever, don't just say, hey, I updated my blog, go check it out. Give them a good solid reason to go check it out. Let them know a little bit about what it's, what about you just wrote about, so that they're going to be interested in going and looking. Place a Facebook ad. Facebook ads are fairly inexpensive. They can be targeted and can raise awareness of your blog. They're really pretty inexpensive as far as paid advertising goes. Check into it, but it's a good way for you to get targeted, good leads to your blog. YouTube traffic. There's a lot of places that you need to be focusing on putting your URL when you're doing when you submit a video for YouTube. Basically, you want to enter your blog URL in your YouTube profile. So when you set up your profile, make sure that you put your blog URL in there. Use annotations to enter your blog URL. You'll discover how to use this, just by going to YouTube. They've got several different videos that you can just type in how to create annotations for my YouTube video. Is all you have to type in, and it'll take you to several different videos that'll show you how to do this. But in the annotations, basically you just are entering your blog URL that'll pop up into your video while it's playing. Add blog URL on your slides that you may record. So let's say you were doing a PowerPoint presentation similar to what we're talking about here, and you're recording it with Camtasia or something to create a video to submit to YouTube. On the relevant slides or at the end, you put your blog URL where they can go to find out more information. Say your blog URL when you're recording. So while I'm recording this for traffic, if I was going to submit this to YouTube, I would say, and to check out more, make sure that you go to http, myblogdomain.com or whatever, to go check out more information. Really, really simple. Enter your blog URL in the description when you're typing out the description of what that video is about. Put the blog URL there. Put that in there first, and then type out the description of your blog. Leaving blog comments. Leaving comments on other blogs is a method of attracting people to your blog. Each comment you leave has a link back to your blog. Now, the effectiveness of leaving short little comments and adding your link back to your blog as a marketing tool is poor. These links send a trickle of traffic at the best. Leaving blog comments is not going to be the most effective way to get traffic, and especially if you're going to just leave little short comments like, hey, nice post, enjoyed what you said, and then leave your link. That's not what it's all about. A more powerful ways to use comments as communication channels, for example, is to spend more time on each comment you make so that you add significant value to the conversation. Use comments to form a relationship with high-profile bloggers. So basically, you're adding value to their blog as well. It's building a relationship, and then it's, that's the appropriate time to leave, your link back to your own blog. But don't focus on just adding something to, quick to get a link back. Form a daily routine. And what I mean here is maybe each night before you go to bed, you go look for some of these high profile blogs, and you look for some good places for you to leave good relevant comments. Maybe you look to leave 10 comments each night. Forum marketing is another excellent way. Just like commenting, a few value-adding contributions to relevant forums with links back to your blog in your signature file will bring visitors to your blog. The more time and energy you invest in establishing a credible profile and adding value in a forum, the more traffic you will send to your blog. Again, fill out profiles, and you're going to want to have a link to your blog in there, to your websites. And always focus on adding value in that forum. When you go into a forum, they're looking for people that are there to give good, relevant content and to provide consistent value, not somebody that's just in there spamming them with their link back to their site. So focus on adding value, and then you're going to be accepted as someone that's allowed to be able to add your links and your signatures. Do interviews. This is a really neat way to get traffic to your blog. This technique works wonders. You interview a top blogger in your industry and then publish the article on your blog. So what you're basically looking for is some really good experts in your niche that have the star power that people would recognize, and you do interviews with them. Basically, you're just going to, interview them on the content that you're seeking for, asking the right questions to get out the information. The blogger, in many cases, will link to your interview to share it with his or her readers. So that expert that you did the interview with, you basically say, I'm going to be posting this on my blog. And that the other blogger, the expert blogger, in many cases, is going to want to link to your post so that he can share that interview with his or her readers. Doing an interview, you can't help but form a relationship. You've contacted that person, you've got them to agree to do the interview, and you've actually, taken some time to, doing the interview and everything that led up to it. So you've built that relationship with them, and you want to use that as leverage, as ongoing relationship building and stuff with this person, to really help. Maybe you'll get some guest posts and stuff on their blog. Interviews are really simple to do, so if you're looking to really help get some good traffic from other bloggers and stuff, do an interview with them. Easy way to create great content. If you're looking for ways to get great content, doing an interview is awesome. Get exposure from a top blog and a form of relationship with a top blogger. Article marketing is another excellent way. Again, when we're talking about article marketing, it's something that it develops over time. It's not a quick traffic generator, but write articles closely related to your blog topic. Submit them to article directories such as eZine articles. Create a resource box and a link back to your blog. Apart from gaining a backlink, article submission also sends some good traffic back to your blog. So make sure that at the end you're going to create a great resource box with a backlink back to your blog. Focus on good keyword-rich titles and content. Write a good informative article that leaves your reader wanting more, so that when they get to that resource box, they want to click on that link to go get more content to help them even farther. And what I want to leave you here with last is great quality content. We started with this, we're going to end with this. The best way to organically build backlinks to your blog is to create consistent quality content. I know many bloggers out there that have great traffic coming to their blog, and they're able to build some good lists. They don't know nothing about all the SEO and everything else. All they focus on is creating good quality content and doing the very best they can and being consistent with it. That is the keys to building a list through your blogs. Great quality content automatically generates backlinks when people quote, refer, and discuss about your articles and posts. They all start pointing at you. So when you're doing a good job, people that are coming across your blog, they start recommending you. They basically are pointing your finger at you saying, hey, there's where it's happening at. Go check this guy out. I want to thank you for joining me on this training. Blogging can be a great way for a long-term list building. It's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to be something that you're going to want to set up and really be consistent at and look at long-term list building. As with anything else, your best results will come from adding good, consistent, relevant value to your readership. Time to take advantage of using your blog for your list building efforts starting today if you have not yet done so. Again, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you got a lot of value out of this, and it's time for you to get that blog set up and get list building with it.